So this lesson is to go over some of the basics vocabulary for circles. So to start, a circle definition is all points are equidistant from a given point called the center. So if we look at our picture, this is our circle right here. J is our center. So when we're looking at naming it, you'll see a circle with center J. The next one we're going to talk about is the diameter. So definition of a diameter is a segment that goes through the center with endpoints on the circle. So it's important to note that the diameter is equal to 2 of the radius. So in our picture here, our diameter, the only one that's going all the way across from endpoint to endpoint and through the center, is this line right here. And so in naming it, it's the segment GD. So we're going to jump down and go to the radius. And so the radius is a segment with one endpoint. At the center and one endpoint on the circle. So a radius equals half of the diameter. Okay, so if we go back to our picture, we have, for example, JD, that is considered a radius. We also have segment out here, JF. I'm going to write that down as some notation. And then we can make other ones. So again, even though it's not shown, we can have segment JC. That's a radius. JA out here is considered a radius. JG is a radius. And again, I can kind of take it out here to this point on the circle. And I also have segment JX. The next one we're going to look at is we're going to go ahead and go over here to a chord. And so definition of a chord is a segment whose endpoints are on the circle. So it's important to note with the chord, both endpoints are on the circle. And so the longest chord in a circle is actually the diameter. So since we know our diameter is GD, that's considered a chord. Up here, A to C is also considered a chord. Because both endpoints are on the circle. Next, we are going to look at tangent. So for tangent is a line segment or array that intersects the circle at exactly one point. And where that point is at, that point is called the point of tangency. Okay, so for a tangent of a circle, intersects at exactly one point. And so this line right here is called our tangent. And so XM is our tangent line, and notice it's a line it's going on. It could be a ray, so it could start at X and maybe continue on through M, but notice it's only hitting the circle at one point, and this point right here is what's called our point of tangency. And finally, we have the secant. So a secant is a line that intersects a circle at 2 points. So a line that intersects the circle at 2 points. So this is going to seem a little bit different, but the secant is something that's going to be going through the circle, but continues on in each direction. So AC, while it's a chord, the extension of it, the chord is just A to C as a segment, but the secant is the one that's going through the circle. And so the secant is line AC, but again, it's going past the endpoints of the circle. So these are the basic vocabulary words that you need to know. Again, we have circle, we have the diameter, which is goes through the center with endpoints on the circle. We have a radius, which it's a 1 points is the center and then goes to an endpoint on the circle. We have our chord, where the two endpoints are on the circle. We have our tangent, which is a line or a segment that has one endpoint or one point on the circle. And then we have our secant, which is a line that's going through the circle.